Welcome back to another live of KG. So we are now in June. Next month, I officially start my masterminds. I'm so excited for everyone that has applied and got through and that I'm working with for the next year. Like, I can't wait. I'm so excited. If you are still thinking, I don't know if this is for me, or I want to know more, or I'd love to work with Kate, but I'm too shy to reach out, please reach out to me. I don't bite, I promise. And let's have a chat and see if it is something that you can join. So yeah, just reach out to me on Instagram and let's have a chat. Today on the episode, I have Ebonie. And I have been working with her for the last 12 months and she has been an absolute dream. She just had a little baby girl who is so cute. And she's gone from working on her own, being super busy before she started with me. She's always had a fully booked business, but we needed to get her out of the salon floor. Obviously, she needed to have her baby and get her having staff and understanding her numbers. So we've been able to do all of that within the 12 months. So I'm going to let her tell her story. Hi, Ebonie. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm so glad that you're here. You're looking beautiful as always.
Thank you.
Oh, so can you give us a little intro, who you are, what you do, and all that jazz?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Ebonie Ledger, also known as Ebonie Lush, which is the brand. I'm director at Ebonie Lush Ltd and owner of Ebonie Lush Beauty, which is in Salon. And what do I do? Let me see if I can remember everything. So I'm qualified in nails, gel extensions, gel nails, acrylic, eyebrows, there's brow tattooing, brow waxing tint, most recently airbrush brows, qualified in massaging as well, but I don't because I'm doing it. And body waxing. I also do well done hair and makeup, and I do photo shoots as well. So I do behind the scenes hair and makeup, and I also model sometimes, and I've worked with international brands such as Lemon and the Curly White Co as well. So yeah, that's me.
Amazing. What a portfolio. That's so good. And you're recently a new mama.
Yay! And now we call little Carlo. So that's my newest role. And the one over the longest.
The hardest role. Yeah. Definitely the hardest role. How are you finding running business with baby?
It's a lot, but you just have to find a way to get on with it. Your main role obviously changes from like being the business owner to mom, and then the business have to say, "Is on under the baby." But
now
yeah,
you understand.
I know, but you have to make it work. It's been working so far, so it's good. Great.
Oh, good. But isn't it so true? Like, as business owners, as soon as the baby comes, you don't get that real maternity leave. Like, your phone's going, there's still stuff to sort out.
Always. Like, in my head, I was like, oh, it's only like coming so a month and like nothing work related. And then remember, that's like, we need this stock. And you're like, okay, I'll order it. And then you just know, okay, I'm not physically there, but behind the scenes, you've still got to be answering inquiries, ordering stock, asking staff to do things. They've still got to report back to you. So you do work just behind the scenes for the comfort of your bed, if you wish.
Yeah. I literally used to be really envious of people that got to have like proper maternity leave, and I'd be like, oh, I wonder what that's like just getting up with baby, not ever being like called up or needing anything. Like, I think that would be bliss.
It would.
Yeah, it would. So let's go back. Like, what is your backstory? What made you get into the beauty and hair world in the first place?
Okay, so as a child, I was always a creative child, like most children probably are. I always enjoy like doing makeup, painting my nails, like playing with hair. And then around the age of 7, I learned how to plait hair. I was like, Mom, can I do your hair? And she'd be like, yeah. I mean, now I'm just, she clearly looked at me just was like, yeah, because look at the picture of was, yeah, oh, yeah, looking like that. But moving forward in school, I started cutting my friend's hair kind of during lunch break and before and on reflection, like actually were like one first one. And then it accelerated by their parents wanting their hair doing, like, mum wanted their hair doing, the aunt was like needed their hair, the neighbour wanted their hair doing. So it kind of became an after school hustle essentially, like going for friends to do something hair. Like $10, which at the time was amazing. And
Yeah.
then it coming on throughout college. It was always going to college after college, going to do hair, braiding and weaves, crochet. Same thing in uni. And then when I was working in a school, I was still doing it on the side. And then my clients were like, "Oh, do you do eyebrows?" And I was like, "No." And a few more were asking, and I'm the kind of person, if a lot of people ask for it and I don't do it, it's clearly something I need to be doing. Because I'm like, "Oh, I definitely do." I'm trying new eyebrows, so I did a course, I had to finish a course. And then it was, "Oh, when you do my eyebrows, can you do my nails?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not qualified in nails, but I can be." So what I actually did was I found a level 2 and level 3 beauty therapy course and did that part time. And while working in the school, just offer more services during like a massage or so. And then I also found a little travelling as well while working at school. So me and my friends would travel during like the half terms and stuff, like the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one year, the girls are like, "Oh, we're going to go Hong Kong and Bali, but we're really sorry, we're booking it for June, so you can't come," which is really term time, as you know. And when we can't book time off and then you want it, which would be Anne's holiday. But I was like, "I want to go Hong Kong and Bali. Like, who just want to go there, especially when your friends are going?" And then I really reflected and I was like, do I want to get older and be like, "Do you know what? I missed so many opportunities to go and visit the world just to stay in a job or because of work." Like, work will always be there, but traveling and seeing the world, I think, is something that everyone needs to be doing at every opportunity given. So I finished my beauty course. I booked the holiday for June and I left working in the school and went and did beauty full time, renting a room in a salon, which was like the scariest thing. And everyone thought I was insane because they were like, "You leaving working in school to go and paint nails?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I did that. I rented that room in a salon for just under a year. And I didn't really like how the payments for the rent worked when I was on holiday and I wasn't there, because I felt like you always feel like when you're on holiday you have to pay for something. But the reality of it is, being is, and that's how it works. So I do look at other beauty spaces just in case I wanted to branch out on my own, which at the time I was like, I'm never going to do it, but let me just see how much it would cost. And I found this really little cute space. And I went home and I'm going, "Mom, it's perfect." And she was like, "You're going to have it?" And I was like, "No, like, I can't be a salon owner. I can't have my own salon." And she was like, "Of course you can." And I was like, "No, no, no." Like, the thought of saying it's my own little salon absolutely petrified me. And the basic one was on my case, and she was like, "Just do it. Like, you do it now anyway. Just do it, do it, do it." I was like, "Okay, I'll try it. If it doesn't work out, it's fine. Like, beans on toast is okay." And then I ended up having that salon for 3 years as an actual salon owner. And then it got broken into a few weeks before Christmas one year. And then after that, it no longer felt like it was my safe space, because it had been violated essentially. Like, someone broke in and took stuff and whatever. So like every time I went there, I had this dreaded fear of like something bad happening. And I was like, it's
Yeah.
unhealthy every day to have the same fear and the same bad feeling until you get to work. So I was like, "Okay, I need a new space." Then I was looking at other spaces again, like, "Oh, if I'm going to move, let me just see if I could afford it." I found this really nice shop on like a main road, like a big shop front window, because my other salon was like in the back of an alley, up the stairs. It sounds really dingy, but I made it really pretty inside. So yeah, I found this place. And I was like, "I can't, what if I can't afford it?" You know, all the what ifs of business. What if I can't afford it? What if my clients don't follow? What if I don't make any money? And my partner was like, "Babe, you'll be fine. Like, just get it." And I was like, "But it's a shop window, like an
Mm.
actual shop front on a main road." And he was like, "It's perfect for what you want it for." And I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." So sometimes you need someone to give you that push to do it. And I've been there a few years now. And I just said it right last September, 5 years
Wow.
being a. So yeah, that's where we are. And now I've got 3 members of staff as well, which is amazing. and also scary, as you know.
Mm. Yeah, you've done so well. What do you think like give you that motivation to like start? Is anyone in your like world in business? Is like parents in business?
So my brother is a business owner, so he owns a math tutoring company. And my older sister, she's a business owner as well. She is a yogi. So I kind of had business people around me. And I guess at the time, I always went on holidays whenever I wanted to. I didn't want the restriction of someone saying, you can't have that time off. You got to miss this holiday. And on reflection, it's actually what I wanted to do to create the life that anybody lives, essentially, which is what you always promote. Like, this is why we do it. At the time, I was like, I just want to go on holiday and no one can tell me that I can't go. On reflection, actually, it's doing things that you want to do and finding a way to make it always work for you. So, yeah, my first kick up the bum to actually think of leaving school was due to not being able to book holidays whenever I wanted to.
Yeah, oh my God, like having the businesses is my whole reason because of holidays. I literally love holidays. And I'm like, you just can't do this any other way. Okay, we've got to work like super,
No.
super hard, like when we are in the country. But to be able to have that freedom, I just think is gold. Like this summer, I'm not going to be here for the whole summer. And I'm like, you won't be able to get this anywhere else. Like, unless you had a business.
Yeah. And also, it's like when you work overtime in your own business, you actually get paid for it, which is feels like a bonus. Because I'm like,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
work
of
2 hours
course,
over,
definitely.
doing a set of lashes. I'm actually going to get paid for 2 hours. So, like, yeah, I'm holding the times. But just like the fear of it is what I guess stops a lot of people from actually doing it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people that actually have the guts to have a full-on business or to go and get that shop front like you did. Like it, a lot of time people hold back from that, so that's why they don't actually get to achieve what they would really love to achieve, because inside they're like, no, can't do it, not going to do that. Whereas because you've taken that leap and you've done it, you can then see the benefits and reap the rewards of that.
Yeah, it is scary, but you don't know until you try. And then around 5 days later, like, so it's worked very well.
Definitely. You also are fully booked all of the time, and I remember when we first like connected and before you joined the mastermind, and you were like, okay, I'm literally full, I have a waiting list all of the time. You was turning people away left, right and center. What would you say are your tips for that? Because there are salon owners and individual therapists out there that are like, that is literally goals right there. So how do you think you done that?
So I think, so firstly, the wait list came along. Everyone, I face it with like the odd person. I'd make a note in like my phone notes, or someone wants to book in, and I'll message them if it can available. And then at one stage, there was like 12 people on a wait list. I couldn't remember who kind of wanted when, who came first, X, Y, and Z. So then I created an online booking list, sorry, wait list, so that people, I couldn't track basically who wanted what treatment at what time and who essentially was like the first to ask for it. I think the way to get fully booked is firstly consistency within your treatments and the service that you provide.
Mm-hmm.
And your service providing isn't just like when the client turns up, it's always beforehand. So even when someone inquires, that's when your service actually starts that person. Because it's like they'll inquire about a message. Well, first they actually find you, and a lot of people find me on Google and Instagram. And I'm mainly connected to people actually on Instagram with my stories when I'm just on there talking the most amount of rubbish about some random thing that I'm doing that isn't actually beauty related or anything related to business. And they're just like, oh my gosh, they relate to me in that way. So for instance,
Yeah.
I'll go to the gym quite a lot, great baby. And I'd sit in the car park and I'll be like, guys, I actually don't want to go to the gym. I'm literally outside. And then I'll be there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, do you know what? I'm going home because I'm now hungry. I need the toilet. And people are like, oh my gosh, I get it. Like, I do that all the time, X, Y, and Z. And then you get talking to you and they're like, oh, you do lashes. How much are your lashes? And it starts from there. So we'd say connecting with new people isn't necessarily always being like, promoting what you actually do. They connect with you when they find you relatable. So as much as I never used to think anybody cares about what I do outside the salon on a day-to-day basis, people love connecting with you on different ways. And then actually they're like, you know what, you're a cool person. Let me come and spend some money with you. And I'm like, yeah, come through, it's great. And that's kind of how I built having a wait list. Just people find you relatable and they want to come and spend time. Because also, like a full set of lashes is like 2 hours. Imagine lying there with someone that doesn't even, that you can't connect with in any way. Like, you can't talk about anything. There's nothing that you have in common. And you spent 2 hours with this person that's a total stranger in effect. And that's also you paying. You want to be able to easily know, you know what, I could talk to you about the gym because I know you go to the gym, or I could talk to you about, I don't know, having a baby because I know you had a baby recently. I could talk to you about trainers because I know that you go running, or, you know, something that's relatable. So yeah, I would say that it all starts actually from before they actually book in, that they want to connect with you with something that they can relate to.
Yeah, because I actually remember when we did first connect, and I was like, oh my God, like I love your stories, like your face to cam, and I just warmed to you straight away through that. And it's just building that personal brand, isn't it? People don't think that they are, but from literally just chatting on stories, you are building up that brand build and that trust of clients. Do you remember doing it like the first time and being like, oh my God, I'm really bad at this? Because I know people get so scared of doing it. Like they might do it once and never again, or they do like a million takes. And I'm like, it's cool. Like they disappear in 24 hours. Like, was you terrified doing it the first time?
Yeah, I mean, my sister, who is always doing face to come, she's like, why do you never talk on your Instagram stories? I'm just like, I was like, firstly, no one wants to hear what I've got to say. Secondly, I haven't got anything interesting to say. And thirdly, it's really scary. And to be honest, she's one that's always like, got on face to cam. But people just want to know what you're doing. They want to know what lipstick brand you're wearing. They want to know. And actually, it's quite funny because a lot of people always comment on my glasses. And they're always like, where are your glasses from? And I'll tell them. And I'm like, wow, like, actually, glasses in my head is just like a thing that you wear because you can't see. But so many people actually wear glasses and wear contact lenses, and yeah, they're just interested in on how you look and where you get your things from. And that has nothing to do with actually the business at all. So yeah, it is
Yeah.
scary at first, but then when you get used to it, you kind of have to be like, you know what? I'm not for everybody, like fine, but those people that I'm for, they're interested. And that's all that matters.
Was you on my training last night when I dared everyone to just do an Insta story
Yeah, I'm still
today?
about to do it.
Well, you're queen of doing it, so you're all good. But I'm like, I think we should do this with the podcast. Like anyone that's listening now and hasn't done a face to cam before, I think that you should go and do it, and then you should tag me and Ebonie in there so we can see proof that you have done this. Because honestly, it is a game changer for your business. And the more that you do it, like the easier it gets. And you just think, oh, you just don't care. Like I now go face to cam with no makeup on. Sometimes I've like got my kids all over me. Sometimes I might look a bit more glam. Like it's just, you just do it. Like it's so good for business.
Honestly, it's like you said, if I post like a set of lashes on my story, nobody replies. If I post myself in there talking about anything random, people reply so much more. And I just conversate about it. So yeah, it's great. And I feel like a lot of people should do it. And even if you're scared, just go on there and be like, guys, I'm doing face to cam. I'm so scared, but here I am, and this is me. And a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, well done. I wish that I could do it, but I'm scared as well. And even that is something actually very relatable to a lot of people.
Yeah, I actually was just gonna say that it's so relatable. Like that's such a good tip. Like just go on there and be like, I'm a little bit nervous, but like that's such a good idea. Because I think also when you say something like that, it kind of like then makes you feel safe. It's a bit like when you're become a public speaker. I've never done it, but you hear people all the time go on stage and they're like, I'm a little bit nervous, so like be easy with me. It's exactly the same.
It is. It really is. And like you said, this will after 24 hours. So yeah, if you're listening, do it and tag us. And you'll feel much better for it.
Yes. Definitely. And we will reshare you also. So you're going to get a much wider audience just from tagging us. So it's a no-brainer, everyone.
Definitely.
So in business, what would you say has been the hardest part? Because we know business is not easy. So what's like them points that stick out and you're like, that was such a hard part in my journey?
I feel like the hardest part of the journey is actually like, for me, it's there's a personal side and there's like a business side. So the hardest part for me is actually transitioning onto like a bigger thing. So for instance, having Salon, like leaving the job and having a Salon, the transition of actually going into the world of being your own boss and actually saying, do you know what? I am a business owner, I own a business, because I feel like we always try and make ourselves quite small in what we do. So like people be like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I do nails and lashes. And like, oh, where do you do it? I'm like, oh, at Ebonie Beauty. They're like, you got your own salon. I'm like, yeah, I have. And they're like, so you're a salon owner? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, you say so. But actually, you have to like step into that character and that role with confidence, because it's a really big thing that we all should be proud of, all of our achievements. But me saying that, it took a very long time to be like, do you know what? I'm going to own it. I am a salon owner. I'm a business owner, and I am actually really successful. Um, but it's a struggle to do that. And then even when you get to that point, when I had like my old salon, I was like, hey, I own this. I've got this. And then viewing somewhere bigger, I feel like you go back to that person of, oh my gosh, like I'm still this small person. Like, can I go bigger? Can I do bigger? What if it doesn't work if I go bigger? Like, what if it's all the what ifs, and they kind of bring you back down to like your first initial all thoughts about what you do yourself. That's always a constant struggle that I find. And actually, it sounds quite small when I say it, but that's the thing that can actually stop you from really making progress. It can stop you from getting staff. It can stop you from going to bigger premises. It can stop you from having another premises. So you've got two salons. Um, so I find that a really big thing. Actually, it's quite a big struggle. And the second thing, well, the first thing of actually being in business that I struggle with or find difficult is actually understanding the business. And by that I
Mm.
mean I've had a salon for 5 years. I know I make money because I'm money in the bank. I'm always fully booked. My clients return. So yeah, the business is thriving great. But the other day when you was like, oh, what's your percentage of profit? And I was like, I don't know. And you was like, how much profit have you made from last year? I was like, I haven't got a clue. And then you asked me how much it costs to run sell an hour, and I was like, I don't know how to figure that out. Like, so yeah, I run the business, but actually understanding the business and kind of the cost of it and the profit margins, I find it really difficult to actually break it down and to figure it out. Um, and it's crazy because I've actually had the salon for 5 years. And we literally took it the other day, and then I was like, oh my gosh. Then I was shocked at how much it actually costs to run the business per hour. And it's like, I've had salon 5 years. I've
Mm-hmm.
never had actually thought to even figure it out. And to be honest, the profit that the salon makes, I only know at the end of the tax year when my accountant tells me. And I'm like, oh, that was great. But by this point, I'm in the other tax year, like probably the first quarter's gone, haven't got a clue what the profit margin was, haven't got a clue if I made more than I did last year in that space of time. And it's quite a lot of things to understand and numbers to crunch. So yeah, that's a struggle. But I have got, you and my accountant to kind of help me understand it. But before that, it was actually something that I never considered and never thought was important. But then it's like, well, how can you hit targets if you don't know what you're working towards and what level you're working at? Which actually makes sense.
Yeah, and you're definitely not alone there. I mean, I'd say majority of people I talk to in that industry haven't got a clue how much they take, let alone profit. Like it's such a common thing because we have started our businesses being really good at what we do and not necessarily understanding or knowing business. So it's definitely something that everyone does need to learn if they are in business, because like you said, you can't set targets, you can't achieve goals if you don't know what you're working towards. But I bet when I was asking you them questions, you're just thinking, oh my god, shut up, Kate, just stop asking me these questions.
Someone's like, who needs to know that? And then when you explain it, I would know, oh, everyone needs to know that. And then when you work it out, I literally not believe how much it costs to run the salon per hour. And kind of when you was like, obviously, the more days that this old holding, the whole cost essentially like that goes down a little bit, and so on and so forth. So you can determine kind of how much the business can make during the hours you actually open. Because there's no point like having a financial target when you're not actually open enough hours to be able to hit that, being fully booked.
Mhm.
But if you don't work it out, you're never going to know. So you set a target that you actually will never reach because the site isn't open enough hours to actually hit it in the time frame that you've given yourself. So when you figured it out, I was like, why have I never done this before? But then when you want to start by yourself, you haven't got that person or a team to be like, guys, we figure this out this month, we need to do that this month, which is why working with you is so amazing, because you kind of think you do the behind the scenes work yourself and let us guys know what
Mm.
needs to be done in order to successfully move forward and grow bigger. But yeah, it's actually what I'm growing.
I'm so glad that you've taken that on board because it's such an important part. Because I think there's so many people I know listening will be able to resonate that they're making all this money, the cash is coming in, they're seeing the turnover, they're like, oh, I'm doing all right. And then get to the end of the month and think, where the hell is it all? And it's like, okay, well, where's the break even point? So what do we actually need to make sure that we're covering everything and having something left over? And like I said, people just don't understand all of that to begin with until they're told. And unfortunately, some accountants don't even go that deep into looking after our businesses like that, which is why I come along. But I just wanted to also go back on what you said regarding like stepping into yourself and like having that confidence that you do what you do, because I remember this was a huge thing for me, and I don't think people will even know that. But I remember when I had the salon, I used to say I was a beauty therapist, so I was exactly the same. And then as my company grew, I actually remember it wasn't therapy, but I was working with my coach alongside it because I just couldn't own the fact of all the things that I'd done. So then when I had like the training, the products, the coaching, even if someone come up to me and like, oh, what do you do? I'd then go, oh, I'm a salon owner. So I've got better going, I'm not a beautician, I'm a salon owner. But then I couldn't go, oh, I'm the creator of the KG brand and we have this, this and this, and be really confident in it. I was just like, oh, I'm a salon owner, and then kind of just like hide away from the conversation because I was so embarrassed. And I literally had to have so much work on myself to just be like, no, Kate, like you've created this, own it. Like say what you do and like everything you've created. So like it's such a big
It's so
thing
hard.
for people.
It is really hard because then I don't know, sometimes you feel like I would say that I might think like I'm this really successful person, but actually we are. So let's shout about it.
Definitely. And what do they say, right? What you feel and what you believe you attract. So if we're always like being timid and like not being confident in ourselves, the business won't flow as easy. Whereas we open ourselves up to that, like more will come our way for sure because we're stepping into our ownership.
It's true. It's so true.
Definitely. So they're your struggles. What would you say has been your biggest achievement so far?
I would say the biggest achievement is actually still being open now. Especially after we had to shut numerous times. I remember when I think I was on Instagram, it was opening up, and there were so many like salons and hairdressers that have been around for like 20 plus years that we shut in. And I was like, I remember the one in town, not far from those, like, they were always like when I walked past for lunch, like the chairs were always full. Um, they were popping, like everyone knew about that salon. And then after we all opened back, they had to close down. And I was like, it's such a big shock. Like so many staff that have been going over 20 years. And I couldn't fathom like how they had to shut. But actually, the fact that we still stayed open, we were like, it's a real big achievement to do that. Because also I mean, you know, you have those clients that are loyal, and then when person want to change, they're like, oh, I just feel really bad to like leave my nail girl. But everyone opening back, that's like the perfect time to go elsewhere and like try someone new,
Mm.
guilt free. But actually, the majority of my clients came back. I also try to stay very relatable, although I couldn't actually be Salon. So like I've done Instagram, I started doing demos on Insta, so I was still kind of giving them something to like relate to and to learn while, and still things like tips and tricks that were for nails at home and so on and so forth. And the opening back, being like, yes, like we're back open. And a lot of people were like, do you know what, well done for actually opening, because a lot of people didn't. I think we underestimate the amount of beauty places and hair places that actually didn't open back. And I feel like doing that and still being successful, still making a profit, still being able to run up until now is a really big achievement, because it was really difficult. And in business, we took a big hit, we took a big loss, but we're still making it happen, we're still making it work, and we're still growing. So yeah, I would say that's the biggest achievement in the business so far. And also, it was out of our hands.
Yeah.
So it's not like we chose to, it's not like you picked your dates and went on a holiday. It was literally like, you can't open tomorrow. And it's like, what? I've still got bills to pay. Like, how is it going to work? So yeah, I feel like we should shout about it more, that we're actually still running after that. And that is actually really a big achievement.
Yeah, it really is. I do think it's so underestimated. Like, it was the hardest time. I actually look back and think, God, did that actually happen? And I'm sure everyone thinks that. But as business owners, the open, the closing, the emotional pull that had, like having to change appointments however many times when they decided that we couldn't then do eye treatments, but we could do nail treatments. Oh my gosh, it was just a nightmare. Like, and you're
Honestly,
so right. Like, the salons.
The first time it happened, and I had to sit there and do like 3 months of cancellations and refunds. And I was like, this can't be it. And then when we came back, I was like, right, I'm opening 1 month at a time. I'm not going to sit there for hours again doing all these cancellations and all these refunds. But yeah, we need to just, you know, appreciate the fact that we're still going, and that is actually, it's not by luck, it's by being consistent with our work and clients enjoying spending time and getting their treatments done at our salons. So yeah, that in itself is a big achievement.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously you've been in my mastermind, and I've loved having you in the mastermind. Obviously you decided to have a little baby in the middle of it, so you couldn't come to the business retreat.
I know, I was so upset that I couldn't come to the retreat, and I'm just like, oh, well, I've got the reason why they done, so it's all right.
I would prefer the baby. You're all good. How have you found your coaching journey? Was I the first coach that you've worked with, or have you worked with anyone before?
You know, so you were the first coach I've worked with. And I was asking for a mentor actually on my Instagram stories for probably about 2 years. Because I was fully booked, everyone was like, you need to get staff, you need to X, Y, and Z. So I started off working 3 days a week in Salon. And then everyone was going crazy, I can't book in. So I ordered 4 days a week in the salon. And then over time, everyone was like, I still can't get in. Then I worked 5 days a week, and I was like, working 5 days a week was never the plan. Like, the whole point of having my own business is that I work when I want, which is like a 4-day week. Everyone was like, you need to get staff. But I feel like working by yourself, like before transitioning to becoming a limited company from Bobby Sole Trade, and it's like, how do you get staff? How do you run staff? How do you manage staff? And I always knew that I would need the help to do that. So I was looking for a business. And then I find it really important that I have to connect with people and just be able to talk to them. Kind of how I just speak, and not feel like I have to always be this professional person. Because I'm really not. So yeah, everyone that got recommended, I would like talk to them, and then I finish the call or like the message, and I'm like, this person is not for me at all. And I remember messaging you because you advertised about it, and I've been following you for quite a while. And then your voice note to me was like, "Hi, babe," and I was like, "Yes, like okay, I can work with this. Because a lot of people are always like, hi, my name's so and so. So what do you do? What do you know? And I just used to be like, oh gosh. And then, it's just like you can't answer what you do, and you just feel really nervous about having like this business formal conversation. And I enjoy talking with people as I am, and yes, I run a business, but I'm also quite a fun person. So when you message me and you're just this bubbly fun person, I was like, I feel like I can work with this. And then we spoke, and then we had a video call and was on about holidays, and you was like, I love holidays. I was like, me too. And again, it's that you can relate and connect, and you got something in common. So when we were on about that, and then after that, I was like, you know what, I can work with you. And then when the prize was there, I was like, I really want to do it. And committing to something like the mastermind is like going to like a bigger salon. It's like, what if I can't afford it? Because essentially you're adding a business cost every month and you're committing to it, which means that if your clients don't come, you can't afford it. If it's not sustainable, you can't afford it. And then you're going to owe this other company X, Y, and Z. And then it's like, do you know what? You have to really commit to doing it because it's a big cost and it's 100% worth it. But you've also got to believe in yourself and you can afford to do it. Your business will afford it. And if you need to make extra money to do it, you just find a way. So even if you promote an extra, eyewash 2 in a month, that would cover it. So yeah, doing that, working with you has been great because since I've worked with you, the business made more money. I'm now a limited company. I've got 3 staff working for me. And yeah, the support's been amazing. And you've also like given companies that help with different aspects of running the business that I didn't even know existed. So yeah, it's been great.
Oh, thanks. For a disclaimer, I did not pay Ebonie for that testimony.
Yeah, I still pay £4,000 a month. It's all right.
Oh, I'm so glad that you joined. We've been able to connect, and you've been able to grow the business and step out while you have the baby, which is the most important thing. So you've done absolutely like incredibly. What is the future for you? Like, is there anything particular you want to work on?
Yeah, so I'd like to work on doing courses. So my main thing that I want to do is braiding courses. So I've been braiding for like years. That's my thing. As you said in the chat last night, not endorsed. Last night, that is my specialism, braiding. So I will be launching courses for that. So it'll be helping my audience that I want to help is like parents. So I have a lot of parents. I do a lot of children's braiding, and a lot of the parents are like, oh, I wish I could just like do basic braids in my child's hair, so, like to fill in the gaps in between when they come for their appointments. And it's for me, I'm like, you can't do basic braiding, but actually, I've always braided for so long. When someone's like, I can't braid, I'm like, what? You can't braid? I'm like, you know what? Actually, there's people out there that I can help, so why not help them? So we'll be doing braiding courses, just to help the parents with the basic braid of the hair, and then there'll also be courses for those that want to braid further, more technical braiding, using like extensions and stuff. So that's the line and the direction that the people are going in, which is really exciting. But again, it's also so scary. Because it's something new, it's something big, and again, it's like owning that title of I'm now going to be an educator. But yeah, it is super. So I'm going to do it.
Definitely. And I'm on your case about that. We need to get this released. Some passive income coming in on top of the salon. That is what we want.
And yeah, I'm working on it. It's in progress, as you speak.
Definitely. That's amazing. So exciting. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today. So thank you very much. I will let you to get back to your beautiful little girl. And I'm sure I will speak to you on WhatsApp soon.
Thank you for having me. It's been great. It's been fun.